What's up, guys? I'm finally back with another video. Today's video is going to be on the eggplant, and the goal of this video is simple. We've got a new battery for it right there, some actual fogging oil, and I'm going to make this dang thing run. So let's go ahead and get started. So it's been 10 months since I've driven this car last. Surprisingly, the tires aren't flat. They probably need a little bit of air, but they're definitely troopers of tires. It currently has no battery in it, because the battery's right there. Checked all the fluids, they all look decent, and it has some. The interior is holding up well, it'll clean right up. Overall, it's not doing too bad. It's definitely handling sitting in the sun well, I'd say. These tires are definitely shot, though. See if I can find a day code on it. 40 of 14. Definitely gonna need new tires and brakes. Now, in order to fog the cylinders, gotta get this off, gotta get the spark plugs out. Let's go ahead and do that. Alrighty, we're ready to fog the engine. All the plugs and the coils look excellent. Combustion's super clean on all of them. All the ceramic looks great. There's a little bit of corona staining on that plug. None of the coils have any oil on them. They look fantastic. And this was a lot easier this time than it was last time. Probably got this done in less than 5 minutes this time. Alrighty, that's fogged. Now to put everything back together, put the battery in, try to start this thing up. Alrighty, the new battery is in. And despite my best efforts, my hands are exceedingly filthy. But we've got power now. Engine's all fogged up. Turn the key and see what happens. And before I do that, I should say that this thing's been sitting for 10 months since it's last been driven. See, we got 95,382 miles. Here we go. Power. Yeah. Yeah. Start it right up. That's excellent. Sounds smooth as silk. Fantastic. Oh, that was great. Smells a little funny. That might be the fogging oil. See, we got no lights on the dash, no check engine light, no oil pressure, door jar, gate ajar. Yeah, everything's open. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put some air in the tires. They probably all need air. I'm gonna put the back together, and then I'm gonna take this thing on its maiden voyage to my dad's house, where I'm gonna change the oil. So I will see you guys when I get there. All right, first time this thing's moved in 10 months. There's a shift a second. You can hear the brakes. There's a tire pressure light, which I was expecting. Oh, you can hear the brakes. The brakes are very unhappy. The engine sounds good. The transmission feels good. Seems to be running okay on the old gas. Pulling up this hill nicely. Transmission shifted nice. It's angry that there's a low tire. The eggplant is back. And first stop, Quick Trip, so I can wash my filthy ass hands. I'll talk to you guys when we get to my dad's house. Alrighty, made it to my dad's house, no issues. Fortunately, I do not have much time, but that's okay because this is one of the oil change on this car is one of the easiest oil changes on the planet. So let's go and get started. All right, guys, it's been a few days since we last spoke. Now, my plan was to get this all done in one day, but I ran into a couple roadblocks. Number one, we had to buy a new oil pan because that one was filled. That jug is filled. This is filled. That's filled. And that black one back there is also filled. So we had to buy a new oil pan. We also need to make an oil run, but we need to buy a new oil pan anyway. And number two, in order to get the oil filter off, you need this. this oil and fuel filter socket for the 2.2 GM Ecotech, and it's 32 millimeter. And you need it because the oil filter is right there, that gigantic nut right there, right underneath the intake. And I thought we had that, but apparently the one we had just up and walked away. So I had to buy this new one, and I didn't have time to do that, and then I had to work all weekend. So here we are. And it is very hot today, and this heap is in the way, and I don't have the keys to move it. So that's going to be annoying, but it's enough griping. Let's get it done. I'm going to start by loosening the oil filter. All you do is get your socket on an extension on a ratchet, and then snake it down in there, and then just loosey-loosey. Which wasn't on there super tight, so I could do it with one hand. I actually really like this design. Actually, I may have been tightening it. Yep, I was tightening it. I actually really like this design because it's not messy and it's really easy to change this filter. And the reason why I'm doing this step first is because loosening this will cause the oil to drain out faster, which is something I learned when I worked for Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers. Alrighty, now we're underneath the Eggplant. That's the transmission pan. The drain bolt is right here. It's a 15 millimeter. I got a 15 millimeter on my long wrench here. Let's get this to draining. It's almost there. Thumbs away. That is hot oil, good lord. I mean, I did just drive the thing and it's 95 degrees out, but Jesus Christ. I'll let that drain for a few minutes. I ended up not being able to use the long wrench because it wasn't a good enough angle to get it in there. But luckily it came off with just a ratchet, which makes sense because I was the last one to change the oil on this and I don't go over tightening stuff. So this is the housing for the oil filter. You can see there's an O-ring on there that needs to be changed, and the new filter comes with an O-ring. And the filter just like clicks onto this upper piece here. But normally the filter comes out with this thing, but in this case, didn't. So you can see it's still stuck in there. Let's grab that out of there. There it is. It's the old oil filter. Doesn't look too bad. Definitely looks used up. Anyway, out with the old. And in with the new. And here's the new filter all assembled. The new filter just clicks in and it doesn't fall out. See the new O-ring in there and it's all lubed up. So this sucker is ready to go back in the car. And as I'm sure you noticed, I am using a Mobile One filter. That's just my preference. You can use any filter you want, as long as it's not Fram. But I prefer Mobile One. They haven't failed me yet. Alrighty, and that's all snugged up. It goes without saying, but that doesn't need to be super tight. Just a little bit beyond snug. Just like a canister style filter. And with that being done, it's time to put the drain plug back on and finish this up. Alright, drain bolt's all plugged up. It's time to let this sucker drink up. I'm using Castrol. Again, it's just my preference. You can use whatever you want, as long as it's 5W30 and preferably synthetic. And in case any of you are wondering, there did not appear to be a gasket on the drain bolt to change. So you probably don't have to worry about that, which is nice. Those gaskets always annoy the hell out of me. Alright, she swallowed up 4.5 quarts. According to Google, it takes 5 quarts when it fills the oil filter. So I think we're good to go ahead and start this thing up now. I did get a reading on the oil dipstick. Very nice. Start it up with no unusual noises. Lovely. Sounds excellent. Don't see any leaks around the oil filter. Not seeing any leaks under here. Now I'm going to clean up my mess, move this thing off the ramps, and check it out if needed. Alrighty, we're all done. She's all filled up, level's good. And now, I'm going to show you how to reset the oil life. And this process is very simple. What you do is you turn the key to the on position, one click before it starts. There we go. And you hit the pedal, the throttle, to the floor 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Then turn it off. Then back on. And there you go. And I think that's going to do it for this video. I'm going to take this thing, I'm going to vacuum it out, and then go get it a car wash because it's filthy. But I'm going to do that off camera because it's getting late and I need to focus. So thank you guys for tuning into this video. There'll definitely be more eggplant content to come in the future. So I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.